Fabrice Rosé.
Dear friends, bonsoir. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight to honor Kahil ElZabar, who is being named Chevalier in the Order of Arts and Letters of the French Republic. In the beginning of the 21st century, the idea of globalization replaced that of the universal. More than ever, artists act as liaison between the multiple zones of our global era. For 40 years, Kahil ElZabar helped the public turn back the clock in order to understand the successive metamorphosis of musical genres. He also enchanted the public by offering them unheard of musical fusions. His art joins in the lineage that links ancient Africa to contemporary America. Transmission and creation are the driving forces of this great musician. Born Clifton Blackburn Jr. in 1953, Kahil grew up in a family of musicians from the south side of Chicago. He is the father of 7 children. Of percussion, which is his instrument of choice, he explains, it was an instrument of pride. It was an instrument of leadership. It was people of African descent finally recognizing that there was a beauty and a dignity in African cultural music. Kahil studied music at Lake Forest College and at the University of Ghana. Then he taught at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln and at the University of Illinois in Chicago. He then formed 2 groups, Ethnic Heritage Ensemble and Ritual Trio, and recorded more than 40 albums. He was awarded Percussionist of the Year 4 times by the Jazz Journalists Association. In 2004, the Chicago Tribune elected him Chicagoan of the Year. Tributes were given to him at Leverkusen in Germany and at Bordeaux in France. 2 documentaries have been just dedicated to him. Be Known, an American film by Dwayne Johnson Cochran, and a French radio program, The Song of the Rhythm, by Sylvain Gire on Arte Radio. His long career was marked by meetings with leading artists who he accompanied or shaped. James Brown, Nina Simone, Cassandra Wilson, and Snoop Doggy Dogg. This friend of friends and of the French-speaking world seeks less glory and money than the common good. He places his art at the service of individuals and communities. This signifies that as an artist, Kahil assumes his responsibilities. His different engagements as president of the AACM, Chicago's Association for the Advancement of Creative Musicians, or as a creator of multidisciplinary programs such as the NEA, National Endowment for the Arts, or Steppenwolf Theatre, show that his demand for artistic education and social solidarity are linked. He explained, The idea of the institution for us has a lot more to do with people than the constructs of the industry or academia or any of those things. It's the human being that really creates the institution. Kahil played for the first time in France in 1974. A few weeks ago, he was on the lineup for the Banlieue Bleue Festival in Paris. But it is above all with the city of Bordeaux that he multiplied artistic collaborations since 1998. He coordinated many artistic projects: Juba Collective, Chicago is Now, Infinity Orchestra. He taught with the Conservatory of Music. He participates in the educational program Musique de Nuit, which benefits children of immigrants, notably those from West Africa and the Maghreb, who are growing up in underprivileged neighborhoods. In 2006, he organized an exchange trip between French and American musicians in Chicago and partnered with Musique de Nuit and the Museum of Contemporary Art in Chicago. A series of concerts were held at South Shore High School, at the MCA, and in Millennium Park. Soon, he will perform on stage as part of the Franco-American festival The Bridge with the saxophonist Joe McFay and Donnie Clasrow, and with the contrabassist Joshua Abrams and Guillaume Séguron. Tonight, I welcome the presence of Alexandre Pierrepont, the talented organizer of The Bridge. In Bordeaux, as in Chicago, this born educator plays, teaches, and shapes. From his contact, children realize their musical talent and their double culture, that received from their parents and that transmitted by the French Republic. From his contact also, the associated responsible parties regain courage. The overture of American jazz renews the French educational practices. France has a long history of officially recognizing exceptional accomplishments in many domains. The Orders of Arts and Letters was established in 1957 to recognize eminent artists and writers, and people who have contributed significantly to furthering the arts in France and throughout the world. American recipients of the Medal of the Order of Arts and Letters lately included Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonathan Franzen, Meryl Streep, and Forrest Whitaker. Tonight, dear Kahil, for your prominent contribution to the advancement of the arts, for fostering the exchange and dialogue between France and the United States, I am proud, on the behalf of the French Republic, to bestow upon you this award as a token of appreciation for the great work of a friend of France you have done. Now we shall proceed.
By the way, you all have seen that commercial of beer about the world's most interesting man? No, here, right here.
Kahil, au nom de la ministre de la Culture, je vous fais chevalier dans l'ordre des Arts et Lettres.
Fabrice, this is indeed a great honor for me and my parents. My mother and father were dedicated to their children, their community, and they lived a life of service without much recognition. But my brothers, Shelton's here, and my other brother Charlton is in California. You know, we were raised to be of service. A few people in this room know it, but not many. But Emmett Till was my next door neighbor. And so I grew up with my mother telling me every day that I either had to cut Emmett Till's mother's grass or shovel the snow because she no longer had her son. And so service became a habit, and one that it keeps me vibrant and youthful to give, because that's how you gain. We grew up with Ivanhoe and Robin Hood and John Wayne. It was either cowboys or knights, and this idea that you fight the good fight. And I have my crooks and crannies and mistakes, but on the whole, I've been sincere about fighting the good fight. To receive this recognition from the country of France and from the Consul General and directly from the cultural attaché with such eloquent words about my purpose and my direction, I am humbled and most honored. I will continue now as a black knight to fight the good fight, which is about the service of others and the recognition that as the world changes and as it turns, we are only because we accept, we believe, and that we are beyond pessimism to an innovative space of optimism that invents realities beyond tragedy and beyond the violence that we may see. So, lastly, I'd say think about this. Artificial intelligence is here. There will be less and less jobs in terms of physical jobs because automation and artificial intelligence will supply the work space. So in ancient times, people weren't merited for their money, they were merited for their character. We're actually returning to a space where there'll be more time, not for violence, but more time for creativity. Reinventing the way in which we live, our values, our ethics, so that we become servants of each other to an inspired space of gratitude and new creation in everything, because everything's creative, in medicine, in arts, in business, everything. Without creativity, there's nothing new. So since there won't really be physical jobs, those few people that are rich, we have to figure out a way to create a new mechanism of communication that explores the ethics, explores these values, and gives people a sense of purpose, not about how much money they make, but how creative they are in living a good life. So in that way, I will continue this good fight. I thank everyone for coming out this evening. Many of my children, are here, and it's so funny, your kids know you, right? So, like my daughter says sometimes when I'm making a joke, and she says, "Okay, fellas, Daddy's being funny again." And my sons, I'll tell them this is gonna happen. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Like, yeah, Dad. All right. So tonight is a moment where you see that when you stick to what you really believe. No one thought that a Southside earth drummer would become a French knight. So you gotta do what you do and make it real. Thank you very much. Thank you. So at this time, I'm very proud to introduce and